Hi,
Hey,
how are
sorry,
you?
sorry, I just got in here. I mean, it's been a crazy day.
We're on
You,
episode number 3. Can you believe it? I didn't think you were going to be joining today because you didn't log on until a couple seconds ago. What's up? Everything okay?
I think I'm getting cocky because, like the first time we did it, we were like 30 minutes, and then the next one was 20 minutes, and now I mean, literally, I turned everything on, but I mean, look at my hair. I did not take a shower. I haven't brushed my teeth, so it's good that this is a podcast and nobody can
I
smell my breath.
appreciate
Although
that.
my
Yeah.
breath is actually pretty good. I've been told. But here's the thing. You ever have one of those days where, hold on, I want this to be peaceful. I'm so freaking stressed right now, but I'm going to try to talk about it in a peaceful way. You've had those days where you're just so crazy busy, and really most of the stuff you had time to do, but you're waiting on other people, but it all happens at once. I got the rock guys here finishing that up. I had to, give them a check. My regular landscapers here wanting to check. I got the dogs being groomed, and 3 dogs is a nightmare. I got to take care of the chickens. I'm out doing the chickens. The groomer finishes. He leaves. I call him back to get him back to give him his check. I mean, it's just Michael time again. That's real cute, dude. Um, I don't like you anymore. Get another co-host, will you? It's just one of those things where, man, I'm just going, 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 and I think I'm a little tired because I was out late last night and making it about you. You didn't come. Monday's Dark last night. You were
I didn't.
absolutely
I didn't come.
not
I
cool,
wasn't
man.
invited.
Wasn't cool, bro. Not
I
cool
wasn't
with you.
invited.
It just wasn't cool. What do you mean you were invited? I invited you. I had tickets
You
for you.
didn't invite me.
I did.
No, and an invitation comes with a ticket. Did you have
But
a ticket for me?
my father came. My
You
father.
did you have a ticket for your father?
I did.
Well, see, he was invited. I wasn't.
They're saying you're full of shit.
No, they're agreeing with me. They're
They
saying
are
you're full of
not.
shit and you didn't invite me.
Do you think I know their language better than your language?
No,
That
and I
you know
don't
their
think
language?
so. You speak dog all of a sudden?
These are my dogs. I know what they're going for.
Doesn't mean anything. You speak dog.
They're barking at the landscaper, man. Hey, dude, three in a row, right? So we're gonna make this thing. I think what are we gonna do? We're gonna go for like how many? 52 weeks straight?
We're gonna
52
try, right?
episodes?
Let's try. What we haven't really figured out yet, and I don't know if that's right or wrong of us, is that we haven't taken into consideration what travel might or come up for either one of us. We might have something come up, but we will communicate that to the 7 people that follow us and that listen to us. If there happens to be something that comes up that prevents us for doing a 50-second week, but I'm in for it as
When you
as
tour,
you stay over there, and if you haven't showered.
when you tour, what maybe I'll bring a guest on, and vice versa, because I do so much touring these days. But I do go on ski trips, so when that happens, and okay,
You
we
do.
got is Sam Novak on? What up, Sammy?
So
Patrick,
Sammy's here. Alexander Baltovsky is with us. Lynette Miller is back. What's up, Lynette? Good to see
hey
you back.
boys.
Patrick, my Wisconsin brother, is here.
He always shares. He's really good about sharing.
He's great.
Yeah, Patrick, thank you for that support.
He's
And
great. You have a
Jonathan
fan in
Martin,
Jonathan Martin who just reached out and said, Michael.
he's a great booking agent, by the way. He's never
Wonderful.
booked one show for me, but I heard he's great.
Hey Jonathan. Hey Jonathan. Let's cut to the chase here. We know about why you haven't booked Reckless in Vegas yet, don't we?
Better chime in something good. Good
He just said,
punctuation.
"Wow." That's what, right?
Listen, he's
So,
got a
hey,
lot of great acts, and I got to
listen,
say,
let's just before we're touching on this before we move too fast. I'm going to corral. We're talking about Reckless in Vegas. Go ahead and tell everybody what's going on this weekend. Let's just get it right out. Let's go right out the
I
top.
want to do it in the beginning, in the middle, and the end of the show.
Okay,
If
go
that's
for
okay.
it.
So Saturday. Thank you for the. Okay. Oh, I love that. Look at that. You can see that on your screen. We're doing a really cool show. I think it's a great show. Good. I bet that's because it's mine. But we've got Kelly Vaughn as a guest. We've got Shay Arender as a guest. We've got Jay Lynn from Violution going to play some electric violin, and we're just about sold out. I checked today. There's maybe, I don't know, 10, 12, 16 tickets left, I think, something like that.
Am I invited to this one?
You're traveling, so it breaks my heart. You have never. Oh, you did. You saw us at the Sahara.
I did.
How many
Yeah.
shows have I been to the Docksiders?
I don't know, 2
Really?
that I can count, right? Yeah, maybe.
Don't minimize her. This is important because I got receipts. I buy them.
Wow.
So look, I'm not keeping score, but the point is you've never really been to a Reckless show.
Jonathan Martin just commented he doesn't book you because he's never been invited to a show either.
Oh, that's bullshit.
I see a
That's
thing
total.
here, Jonathan. You and I need to be when Michael can't do this, I think you're going to be my co-host on this podcast. We'll talk about how Michael doesn't invite us.
He's actually great. He would be good on this. Jonathan's great. He's a little full of himself, but
Does he
he's great.
shower and brush his teeth? If he
He
does, he's
does.
great for this.
He does, but it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. We're not in the same room. You know, I'm in my studio. You're home. You're in your studio. You're in the laboratory.
Yeah.
So, how are you doing, man? I saw you Sunday night at Cat's thing for St. Baldrick's, but I haven't really talked to you that much. What's going on in your world? I see you got your album's about ready to drop. You're real close on that.
Yeah, we're working on an album. I've been working on this album for the better part of a year.
17
We
years.
17 years. Yeah, we started the recording in September of last year, and we started choosing the songs about this time last year. So it's been a labor of love. It's been a long time. I'm really excited to share a year's worth of my work to people that don't necessarily listen to records anymore. So
You're going to do vinyl, right?
we're
planning
making
on.
vinyl. We're making CDs. We're going to make some cassettes.
Yeah. They are actually making concessions because you say that as a joke, I think, but
No,
they
I'm
are.
serious. We're making cassettes. Yeah.
Now that's a tough. Nobody's got cassette players anymore that I know of. But
My parents do.
when I
Don't
said
say
17
nobody.
years, when I said 17 years in the making, or you've been working on it 17 years, that's actually not true because if you think about it, 17 years of what you've been doing is in this album because right. I mean, if you would have made this same album 17 years ago, we probably wouldn't be near as good. And I understand. I've heard a couple of tracks off it, and I understand. I can hear the love and the time and the years of experience and talent that you guys have put in it. And I mean, I hate that kind of music, but what you've done with it is really, really great.
I mean,
And,
to be honest, I hate it too, but it's what pays the bills. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't hate that kind of. I love.
Nor
What you,
do I.
yeah.
We jest, but yeah. Thanks for mentioning
What's
the
the
album.
drop date?
We just determined that April 5th we will be debuting it on all like the streaming services, the Apple Musics, the Spotify's, the D's Nuts, all those others, those other services where you can stream music. The physical copies take much longer to make. And we're still in an active Indiegogo campaign. We still need some to raise some funds to help make some of these things. Vinyl is not cheap.
You're doing an Indiegogo. Is that what they call it?
Indiegogo, yeah. We're asking our
Yeah.
fans
So
if they want to pre-order a vinyl copy. You can do that. We'll autograph it until the drop date. So if you pick it up before April 5th, we will sign the whole band. We'll sign a copy and send it to you. If you're collecting vinyl, CDs and downloads are available there. And there's some really interesting. Our sax player is nearly a gourmet chef. He is incredible. And we've got a hike at Red Rock Canyon, and
he has a name.
he does. Yeah, it's David Sanborn. He's our sax player.
You got rid of Kenny, huh? I thought you had Kenny on that. Yeah.
Clay Connor.
Clay Connor.
The amazing Clay Connor is. We're auctioning. We're whoring him out to cook a meal for people. So it's good.
I think that's great. People don't understand something. So vinyl cost of vinyl, depending on what you're doing. I mean, I just got a quote on just a small order of doing 100. And they end up shipping in the whole thing. You might be in them $18-19 a piece, and so you sell them for 30. There's a profit margin, but we have to put that money up ahead of time to get them done, and not everybody can afford to do that. We're not a big record label, right? You're not, and so by doing what you're doing is an excellent opportunity for fans to show support for the Docksiders or whoever their favorite artist is that is doing this. They pay up front. It gives them the money to actually complete the project, and then you do the perks like Clay's going to cook for them. And I did hear Clay's a great cook, but
He's
also
great.
they get autographed copy, which they're not everybody's going to get, and I think that's really wonderful. And I wish you luck. I know that our 12 people that are watching, or 6 people, or 3 people, they're pre-ordering right now. So I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I appreciate that. The link is on our Facebook page. The link is in my bio on Instagram, and the Docksiders have been sharing it all week. Anyway, let's. What do you think? What do you think about jumping into some of our topics today? We spoke last week about uh, being a musician, and you and I are very similar in our in the way we became musicians. Right? We aren't classically trained students of music. We didn't. I didn't go to a music school. I'm assuming you didn't. You barely read.
Thanks a lot.
Um, I mean, you read well. You read it. We both read at the eighth grade level, so that's good. And then I think also um, we have ears, right? Our ears have kind of taught us how to do it. You were mentioning to me in an earlier conversation this week that you were in a situation where somebody was asking you to play a specific chord with like a flat seventh, and you were questioning about what that actually meant. And it's an interesting dynamic to be in a scenario where you're amongst other musicians and you're not speaking the same language, right? Explain
100%.
explain kind of your experience with that and how you've overcome learning the flat seventh now moving forward.
I still haven't learned it, but what one of the things, and I want to talk about this later in the podcast about authenticity as human beings and in life. But one of the things was I wasn't being authentic because I was trying to put up a front. I got tasked in hiring a band in San Francisco. It was a huge money opportunity for me. I had done one other corporate gig with these people before, incredible production at a fancy hotel in San Francisco, and this one was, hey, we want to get a bigger band together. Could you get a horn section and a drummer and a bass player, and et cetera, et cetera. So I got really good players involved, and he sent me all the charts ahead of time, and of course I prepared, did my homework, but there were some chords in the charts that were things that, like, it was an A minor 7 flat 5 or flat 7, and I don't know what the flat part is, right? I mean, I know what an A flat is, but I don't know when you have a chord and then you put that, there's an additional notation of a flat 7. So I sort of just blew it off, and I knew what the chord was. It was a flat minor, and the flat 7. Who gives a shit, right? So when it came time to do the rehearsal in San Francisco, I've got all these great players around me, and the music supervisor's there, and he's playing. We're running through the charts, and we get to this song and this one issue, and we come up on that chord, and my heart rate is going up, right? Because I pulled it off as if I'm like this music producer guy who put this great band together, and these guys respect and admire even at times. And we get to that part, and of course, my heart rate's up, and I play what I try to do, this A flat minor, and which is, by the way, for our audience who doesn't play, is a very common chord. And I try to guess of what that flat 7 is. Well, I don't guess right, and the music director stops. Michael, that's a flat 7 there, or whatever it was, 5 5. And I'm like, oh, okay. Again, not authentic. What I should have done is what I did the next time. And so we go back to do it. Now my heart rate is really elevated, and I'm putting on a front like I know what I'm doing. And we come up on that chord again, and now I'm guessing what could be that chord that's rubbing against the other instruments. Well, of course, I guess wrong, and they stop again. And now this time the saxophone player whom I hired turns around and goes, Michael, that's a flat 7. And I felt a little bit embarrassed, but it got me right sized. My ego got pushed aside, my pride got pushed aside, and I said, "Guys, I'm sorry, I don't know what flat 7 is." And the music director, very nice guy, he goes, "Come over here." He sat down on the piano and he showed me the chord and what it was. I didn't learn my lesson as far as learning those chords and learning to read better, but I did learn the lesson of, hey, don't act like I know what I'm doing when I don't know what I'm doing. That there's strength in what could be perceived as a weakness. Throw yourself under the bus. Melvin agrees. It's the difference between humiliation and having humility, right? Humiliation is when it gets pointed out from an outside source, and humility is when we point it out ourselves. And I find that across the board with. Do you have a music of? I'm gonna go kill the dog.
I
So
do. And you know what's interesting about this scenario is I think sometimes we discredit because we want the gig so badly, and you don't want to show any sort of weakness in
yeah,
anything that you might not be aware of. I think we discredit real, true professionals. And I believe there are true professionals that are out there that want to help you along too, right? That want to, if you
yeah.
have a question, they'd rather spend the time educating you so they can move on and move past. I'm talking. I looked at you while you were talking. Like,
I was yelling at the dogs to try to get them. They're quiet now. See?
anyway, there are true professionals that want to help other people out, right? And I think Listen, we've all been in those scenarios where you get a giant asshole that wants to belittle and make you feel like you don't belong in the room. And I
Yeah.
think maybe that's where that trepidation comes from. That
Mhm.
you don't want to be in that one scenario where you're the one soloed person that they're going to call out and say, "Why didn't you learn what you needed to freaking
You feel
learn?"
humiliated, right?
Right, exactly. But true. Like I think we've all been there. I remember, I didn't take any music theory classes. I took my first, high school music theory isn't like really a true musical theory class, but it gave you the basis and the beginnings of understanding what I was learning on my own. And at the time, we're going to share our ages here, but there was no YouTube. There were no, we had no resources as
No.
young musicians to turn to learn things that a lot of people have access to now. So I think you and I did pretty okay with what we had, right? Those are the tools.
Well, I think we strengthened our listening. I mean, I've always said the greatest musicians are not only they can read, but they also have a good ear. A lot of people who read and are trained to read, you take sheet music out, they don't play. Like they can't sit in or they don't sit in. And what we have had the way we've learned is a slower process, but you're kind of confident. The point of authenticity is to have a not cockiness, but a confidence. And if you know that when you hear something that you can play piano to it or sing a riff to it or play guitar, whatever that is to it, that's a huge gift,
Absolutely.
and I find myself, only until recently in the last, I don't know, I got sober almost 18 years ago. I always put up a front, and I compared, and I was in competition, and definitely afraid to be found out that I wasn't who portrayed myself to be. And once I got sober, I started to do that inside work and realized that I remember being on stage for the first time and making a mistake and like laughing at it and like going with it and turning it into something magical as opposed to having a downward spiral and everything fall apart because I was actually embarrassed. And that's the gift of authenticity, no matter where we are in life. And it's about honesty and integrity and that we're good. Kevin, you're good enough, man. You're worthy. You're lovable. I'm lovable. I'm good enough. I'm worthy. We have to have that real belief. And I think we can do anything with that. It doesn't mean we don't hurt people's feelings or make a mistake or fall short, but in order to learn and grow and transcend this stuff is to convert mistakes or accidents or screw ups into a learning experience. And when you do that, I feel like I'm doing a TED talk. I don't like when you do the screen like that. Just saying. What makes you do that? Because you're looking at a text message?
Oh no, I was sleeping. Sorry. I
Oh,
just I just dozed off for a second. I didn't mean to. Hey, Brian Greenfarb puts in the comments, what the hell? I thought this was free art lessons.
thank you for the topic because we were going to paint today, right?
I'm
And I
still,
just
my painting is still here from last week. I have been working on it, but I am not ready to show it just yet.
we promise Brian and everybody else that we are going to paint. I mean, he's working on his. I haven't even started mine. Originally, we wanted to do it on camera. We haven't kind of got that part of the studio set up to where we have cameras going down and go back and forth. Plus, have you ever watched paint dry? It's definitely slow, and I don't know how far along. Do you promise that you will do your final touches on camera? Like, don't finish the piece.
Okay.
I
Yeah, I
got your word
promise.
on that. You're okay.
I promise.
And I'm so is it fundamental or rudimentary? How do you say? I'm such a beginner in painting. I've done a lot of paintings, but I suck balls. But I do it for fun. But mine I can knock out like on camera in like literally 35 seconds.
Really? Why so quick? I
Well,
heard
I
that
don't
about you. You're fast, right?
in a minute, my wife will tell you, yeah, she's
I didn't
disappointed.
mean that, but thanks for
Oh,
taking
sorry.
it.
My wife will say I'm amazing. I just don't I feel like it's done. I don't belabor over a piece too long. And I mean, some of them I'll go the distance with.
Okay.
So Brian, we apologize that on this show today we'll be painting next week.
Brian, like, wow, he comes on our podcast and he calls us out right
Yeah,
away.
it's
This isn't
some
where's
bullshit.
the where's the grace, man? Where's the love, Brian
Yeah,
Greenfarb?
whatever, Brian.
I'm teasing you, my friend. Hey, we've got a pretty full show and we've shot the shit for about 20 minutes already.
Yeah,
Let's talk about how crazy that you and I have the same
bulging,
plaguing injury, right? Let's
bulging.
first of all explain what this is that we're talking about. We both, Michael and I, have a bulging disc,
Say it slower.
a
No.
bulging disc
No,
in
you gotta hang on
cervical,
the bulging
in the
and
same, in
the
between the two same cervical vertebrae,
yeah.
C6 and C7. For the
Between
viewers out there, I created a chart.
oh, you
There
did?
is cervical vertebrae C6 and C7, and we both have a bulging disc, which I also created another chart that shows the bulge in the unhealthy disc in between C6 and C7. I also have a pinched nerve
And an irritated spinal cord.
from it as well. You have an irritated spinal cord?
Well, looking at that picture, that's how I feel when I see that. Yeah,
It's
look
just it, you look at the red indicates that there's probably some inflammation there,
at
and it also probably indicates that it hurts. That's
oh,
what I get from
wait a
red.
minute, I misread that. I'm just irritated in general. It's nothing to do
We
with
know this, right?
yeah,
We know
yeah.
you.
Okay. Yeah, irritable and restless and, so yeah, we have the same thing. Now you were lifting a speaker over your head and created the injury, right?
Yeah, I was lifting a pretty heavy loudspeaker over my head, and something
Sounds smart.
happened.
Sounds
What?
very smart. It sounds very intelligent of you to do that.
I was young. I thought I was indestructible at the time. I
Mhm.
lifted it up, and Cat says, "Yay, charts."
How did that work out for you?
It didn't work out well. I've been miserable ever since. And like it goes away, and I take some ibuprofen for a extended period of time, but and ice, yes, and ice, Lynette. But the issues that I have, I can sleep wrong and I can wake up,
Mhm.
and I'm old. I guess that's what my cousin just said. Welcome to getting old on the
Well,
podcast.
we're soliciting a free, physical therapy massage for Kevin Zucker in his home. It's a reverse perk to his new album coming out. He will, give you the gift of you coming there and relaxing. Because I was telling him massage really because what happens, everything fires around it, and you just are in so much pain, and if you can relax that. For me, it was going vegetarian, surprisingly enough. I watched a couple of documentaries that set me over, and within a month, the pain in my neck went away. And I'm not saying I don't sleep around like what you just said. It does happen, but wow, it's been 5 years since I was told I needed surgery.
That's pretty
So
good. Well, I
yeah.
learned never ever get surgery on the neck or the back. It came from some of my family members that are in the medical field. And it is, our friend Stefano just said, "How old are you, Kevin?" He wants me to say I'm 73 years old. So apparently, at 73 years old, you get these ailments like this. So yeah, how crazy is it that we have the same experience in the same area of the neck, and the other thing that I think
Age,
is really interesting
our age
that
is the
we
same.
share is our burning love for algebra.
Well, before you, does algebra factor into how old we are? Because we're the same age. We both have a
Right.
love for our whole lives for music. We both have produced shows. We are both married to extremely strong, independent, backbone, beautiful women who just put us in our place, but also are incredibly loving and
Yep.
kind. And so there are so many similarities. But what's this love for algebra? Because there's one thing about algebra that I get now, but I did not get when I was a kid. What
Well,
you
this is
do you
what we talked
truly
about. We talked about, like,
I don't
what the
remember.
fuck were we doing in high school when we were forced to learn algebra, knowing that we were never going to use this shit with what we wanted to do in life.
So
Who is that? Is that
it's it's Huey, and
is that
let me
Huey?
back up a little bit. Yeah, he's got a little donut on because he's been
Is he
it's been on.
flying somewhere? Is he
Yes,
like getting ready for a flight?
and here's your Melvin Harvey. Come here, Melvin. Jump
I
up and
sat
get
next
some
to a
love.
golden that
Oh,
had a
it's really
fucking
cool.
sleep pillow on their plane, on a
I think
plane.
it's wonderful, and it had nothing to do with algebra, to be honest, Mr. ADD. Um, so we were talking about it because there's many things that are in school. Correct. There are being I am. So there are many things in school where you just go, "What? I'm not interested in it." And you and I, I feel like we have a fairly high intellectual level, and we both didn't do well in school, and it's about being able to focus. And we talked about it's not the actual algebra that you never use in life, but it's the ability to learn the algebra at a
That's
young
what it
age,
is, right?
which
Why
wires.
couldn't these teachers, for someone like me, why couldn't they tell me that that's what the plan was? That's why they were teaching me, right? Like, I think I had the ability to understand it from that perspective at, say, 15 years old. when you're a freshman in high school, right? But what, fuck X plus Y equals Z shit. Like,
Yeah. Now
sorry, sorry,
that
math people. I'm shitting all over algebra.
some people probably love that stuff, and it turns them on as foreplay for us. But yeah, if it was explained in a different way, a different teaching method, maybe some teachers do. I don't think ours did, but yeah. So
We
that's
have a
it.
professional writer that's posting comments. John Katzlamides said his 8th grade English teacher taught him to diagram sentences. He said, I would thank him when he became a professional writer. This has yet to happen. Yes,
That he's a professional writer, or he is
professional
semi-qualified
writer.
professor.
No, he is a professional.
Yeah,
He is. Of course, he's a professional writer. Wait to see what he
yeah.
writes about the Reckless in Vegas show this weekend.
Well, those are questionable, but I would like to judge, a little his professionalism on some more articles. I'm not seeing enough of those where I can really get a feel
Oh, here we go.
for his,
Watch out, everybody. So our friend Elizabeth Diaga is back. She said, mind, body, read the book, unlearn your pain. Fuck, if it was as easy as reading a book to unlearn the pain that I was in this last week, I would be reading all night.
We can't read a book. We can't stay focused long enough because we didn't learn
you
the
and I
algebra.
are, if our audience hasn't been able to tell that we are ADHD, I don't know what they can tell.
The books I read are the books I read with my wife because Jolie keeps me on track, and every day we'll read 10 or 15 pages in the morning, and those are the books that get finished. Books I start on my own, unless they're just so compelling and just they grab me, I don't finish them. I've got 5,000 books. I've read 2 of them.
My wife and I read Women's Daily. That's what we read together.
Is that a magazine, or is that like a daily inspirational?
It's like one of those little garbage rags that you find at the grocery store when you're checking out, and they got like little fashion tips, and we sit and we look at them together, and don't we, honey?
Hence the little lavender. See, we're in tune with that side of
right.
ourselves.
Like I wanna share that stuff with her. I wanna be there for her in that way where it feels like she has someone to share that with. Right. That's the passenger that I like to be for her. And she just corrected me. She stuck her head in the room and she said it's called Women's Health.
Aaron, pop in here. Say hi to everybody.
Come in here.
Come here, Aaron.
Aaron, Michael wants you to step in the room here, please.
I can't come in here. I'm watching you.
She said she can't come in. She's watching us in the other room. Leave it playing in there. Come in here.
If you're going to talk in the background, you have to at least show everybody who's talking. Not everybody knows you. And
yeah, Aaron, you're right. Aaron Hootkin said, I sense an eye roll from the other room. Come over here. Say hello to our little Lavender audience.
Is she coming? She's coming in.
She's clean. You did one thing more than Michael did today. She just showered.
A shower. Like I haven't. This is it. This is how I woke up. I'm not. Hi, Aaron. So good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
You're not quite in frame. Yeah. Let's see. There you go.
Can you hear her?
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she's got to talk. I can't. If she's not talking, I can't hear her.
Well, Lynette, I'm sorry. I'm answering things. Aaron, we read that Women's Health thing together, right? And does it make you feel good that you can share that time with me?
I love it.
Can you hear her?
Yeah.
She said I'm incredible.
She didn't say that.
She did. She just said.
She said, "I love it."
No, she said, "I'm incredible, Michael."
I know she thinks that. She did not say that just now. Yeah, go ahead and say it, Aaron. So the time you guys read together, it's another form of intimacy. Do you feel additional connection in doing that?
I love it very much so.
She said, "I'm incredible" again. I don't know if you can hear her back there.
She said, "I love it very much so." I think couples that are struggling with connection, and it happens through long-term relationships, reading together is a really quick fix, and that can really turn a corner on that stuff. And it's so simple, and that's pretty cool. You guys do that. Do you guys? Kevin's been walking. Are you walking together too?
We walk together.
Yeah.
Another form of intimacy and connection.
Yeah.
That's great.
Lately, he's got his ear pods in, listening to the record.
It's my time. Like when I'm out on the walk, I listen to the mixes. I listen to the mastering. I listen. See, but we talked about this in episode 1. Michael is so good putting the electronics down when he and I go walking together. Yeah. You're really great at that. I do envy it. I just can't. I don't know how.
Just do it. Leave it behind and be uncomfortable for a few times, and then it'll happen because I do when I'm by myself. I do bring my phone with and I listen to music, and I try not to take phone calls, but I'll take them. But when I'm with somebody else, especially my wife, not a
Why are you putting
chance.
your wife in quotes?
Well, I didn't know how to, I didn't quite commit to the quotes. I was like,
You
"Hey,
kind of did. You put them up and you did a whole
as
little.
I did it, I realized it didn't really make sense. So
Is Joe?
Not
Wait,
his
hold on.
wife.
Is Joe home? Is she home?
she's not home, but she interrupted. She must have forgot we're doing the podcast. She called me, so she's probably on her way. You know what
Oh,
she's bringing home?
no.
No Butcher has for the month of March. No Butcher on Spring Mountain and Rainbow, which is a plant-based like sandwich deli place. It's their Reuben, which is unbelievable. And you only have them for the month of March.
Wheat gluten one.
Tell the audience that what your diet, you and Joe, your dietary lifestyle.
Just vegetarian. I mean, Joe's a fantastic cook. I don't think I would be able to survive it if I didn't have a creative.
So you do no animal products at all, right?
Nothing with eyeballs, really. I mean, we do so vegan is no dairy either, right? We do cheese and we do eggs because we have the chickens, right? Which stressed me out today, but they're worth it, I think.
So is there a reason no meat, but you will do dairy and chicken? Is it just a health thing, or is it a commitment to something else?
Well, animal protein in general is not great for everybody, and for my body type, it's not great. It causes inflammation in the body, and of course, dairy does too. Cheese causes inflammation. I mean, Kimberly Cannett's our vocal coach, constantly on it. But for me, you eat something. Okay, I mean, go eat fast food and see how you feel. If you don't feel good, it's probably the food.
Do you get a free
Right?
vocal lesson for announcing her name? How does that work?
Kimberly Cannett's, Kimberly's vocals.
Do you get a free
Fantastic
lesson for
vocal
bring?
coach in Las Vegas. I'm doing this for you, Kevin.
Okay.
Fantastic vocal coach in Las Vegas. If you're looking if you have some voice trouble or you want to just become a better singer, she is absolutely fantastic, and a spiritual experience as well. Your 30-minute lesson, you will feel you'll leave with more than you could.
I have met with her, and she's an amazingly lovely person.
Yeah, she's
And
great.
in one get together with her, she just boosted a whole lot of confidence and throat thing in me. Yeah, it was. It was.
Before you went and saw her, I went and saw your show many times, and Aaron's an incredible singer. And
Yeah, whatever.
who's the guitar player? Was it Larry? What's his name?
Larry Esparza. He's
Yeah, he was playing
phenomenal.
guitar. Great lead
Yep.
vocalist. Harmony, everything great. And you were like, you're a little pitchy, your choice of melody, your approach, your whole vibe. After it was not great. And after you went to Kimberly, it was like, wow.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of A Little Lavender. My name is Kevin Suker. We hope you've learned a lot this week from sorry. What were you saying?
I don't know, but I don't like you having the controls, man. But it's probably better you did. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you're right.
Can I ask you
forgot what I
something?
was gonna say.
I got it. So, one thing we want to remind people, we're going to be doing this every week, Tuesday Pacific Standard Time, every week. Please like our page, A Little Lavender. You'll get notifications that we're coming on and reminders. Please tune in, and if there's topics you'd like us to talk about, Kevin and I have some life experience, probably not all great, but we'd love to share and get honest and vulnerable and all that stuff, and also. Let's talk about guests. So we've been approached by a few people that would like to guest on the show, and I like to fill up the time with talking. I do these long run-on sentences. I haven't taken a breath in like 18 minutes. I mean, I just keep going and going and going and going. And when I do, you don't even know I did. So what about a guest? Anybody have suggestions of a guest that they'd like to have us on? Or there's a friend of ours, a mutual friend, very talented, has a
We
show
love
in
him.
town.
And
He's kind of a prick in a way, but I like him.
I would never say that.
Yeah, he's a prick.
Guy.
Yeah.
Why would you say that about him?
Hey, but Mark O'Toole. I mean, come on, it's in the name, Mark O'Toole.
I think O'Toole is Irish for penis.
I think it's for the tool, the tool,
right? The penis. That's
it's his cock.
Yeah, that's what I think it is, right? I think it's Irish, like automobile is a car, right?
We digress. Friend.
Phone is the phone, right? That's Irish.
Okay. Let's stop talking about that. Do we want to have Mark as the first guest?
I would love to have Mark as our first guest. What do you guys think? Put a comment in in our comment area. Let us know who you'd like to see on the podcast. You know, Michael knows a lot of famous people. He owes a lot of money to them too. So he'll call out and reach and see if they can come back on to the show and have a conversation. I think that's good. Are you going to be our official show booker? Are you going to book all the people?
Well, you know as many people as I know. So
Well, yeah, but I'm running the technology. So
hang
I
on a
think
second. Let's just see. This is my pops. I don't know if you can see that, but hold on a second. Right in the middle of the episode. Hey, Dad, you're on a little Lavender with me and yours truly and Kevin Suker, and Aaron is on the couch. Do you want to chime in, seeing that you've interrupted us?
I'm sorry, they're on the couch?
They're on the couch at their house.
Oh, you're talking to them right now?
You're on live with a little Lavender with Kevin and Michael. Do you have a question? Do you want to call? You called in for a question or a comment?
Actually, I didn't, but I guess I could ask a couple questions.
Why don't you call back when you have your shit together?
Like, where's Kevin's next show?
Kevin's next show is they're about to announce any. It's a very good question. They're keeping it secret right now, but you're going to announce maybe in the next 2 weeks, right? Possibly.
I think it might even come this week. It might come next week. It might. I don't know. We're hopeful. We're hopeful it's coming soon. Listen, the reason we haven't announced and we've been very open about this, but the agreement that we signed was that the venue gets to have the right to announce it first. So we are respectful. They're putting a whole bunch of effort into this, and we are very honored that we get to be the first headliner in this particular space, and we are very excited that that it's us. So we're going to be keeping our mouth as quiet as possible. Hey, Lenny, how you doing?
He asked you a question.
Good. Does it start with an S?
Does it start with an S?
And end with an E. Does the venue start with an S?
Let's see if he knows his venues
here. And end with an E.
All right. I got to be real. On Sunday night when we were at the St. Baldrick's fundraiser, that Johnny Katz shaved his head, I was asked this while I was on the stage to say where we're going, and I am doing it right now. We are going to give it out to our audience right now. I am telling you all where we're going. We are going. Here it is.
We're going to end the show right now.
We're going to the Tropicana.
Oh, they're going to the Tropicana, ladies and gentlemen.
Very limited run.
There will be for one show.
At the Tropicana. Details soon.
My Reckless in Vegas fans are hoping that they implode it while you guys are on stage performing.
Wow. You know, it's funny you say that, because I say, if you like us, we've had a great time. We're the Docksiders. If you don't, we were Reckless in Vegas. That's what I use. Yeah.
One more question for my son, even though I didn't get an answer from Kevin.
Yes, Father.
Are these two guys, would there be possibility for coming up and singing a couple songs with you guys?
Do you know how many times I've asked them, Dad? I've asked Kevin and Aaron, and they're like, yeah, and then they blow me off. I don't think they like me. I don't think they like. If I had a birthday party, they wouldn't come. You know what I mean?
We wouldn't be invited.
We wouldn't be invited. We've learned that we don't get invited to the important stuff.
Yes, Dad. We've talked about having them as a guest, and hopefully, if when their travel schedule aligns, they will definitely be a guest on a Reckless in Vegas show.
Hey, Lenny, this is Kevin. I don't know if you can hear me, but Michael went and booked all of his 9 shows with other singers. He didn't even ask me.
That's not true.
You did. Did you not?
No, that is
got
not
incredible singers on your shows. Right. Do you have any openings?
Yeah, I'll bounce somebody. No, we do have. If you're
excuse me, but are we live on the air when you said that?
We are, Dad, and you're like screwing up the flow here, man.
Wow.
Why don't you
cause a bunch of crap here?
Why don't you go online and comment in the comment section like everybody else does?
Oh, because I'm at the car place right now.
Okay, I love. Are you asking permission to buy a new car? Yes, Dad, you have my permission.
I will never ask.
I love you. Say goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye, Lenny.
Oh, where are the paintings? Elizabeth is asking. Why is everybody calling us out today?
People are just calling us out today.
Man, and Huey is really getting. Come on, get out of here. Come on, get out of here, buddy. Show everybody your.
You know what? I kind of like what Paige said. Paige, hi, Paige.
Have Lenny as
Paige said have Lenny as the first guest. That would be a fun episode.
Paige is very into. I love Paige. I love her ideas. She's really smart. She's such a team player. She's always contributing to anything she's involved in, just with her talent and her kindness. And I think that's a great idea. But I can't make that call. I think that Kevin is the official booker.
This is Pete Sentner. We love the Docksiders of Manitowoc. Wish you could play the Capitol Civic Center or the Wharf. You know what? Little Birdie told me that we're probably playing the Capitol Civic Center in November.
Is that a big venue? Sounds big.
It's a beautiful venue. Yeah.
Yeah. You need an opener? Can we open for you?
This is great. This is the best comment of the night.
Let's just go out and experience an hour of what the fuck. You know what? Yeah, Sam, you're a prick, man. Where's the fucking love?
I love him. This
All
is
right.
great.
All right,
Anyway, it's time, right? Let's wrap.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up. We'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place, same what the fuck, nothing going on, total bullshit. And I'm gonna work on my language next week.
Lavender, lavender, lavender.